YouTube friends, what's going on? David back with a brand new video, and today we're talking about how to use anamorphic flares in After Effects. For me, I don't own anamorphic lenses, which means I have to use plugins in post, specifically using Red Giant Universe and After Effects. Now, Universe is not a free plugin. It does cost $99 a year, which is not bad for a plugin that gives you a suite of over 100 different effects. Everything from anamorphic flares to VHS type plugins to glowing title effects, all sorts of things to help increase your post-production value. And the plugin we're going to be working with specifically inside of Universe is called Knoll Light Factory EZ. They actually have a full like kitted out version of Knoll Light Factory, but the EZ version, they made it kind of like simplistic, but with all the feature sets of Knoll Light Factory. That's all your anamorphic flares. It comes with, I think, 30 or 50 different like presets of anamorphic flares you can choose from. You can adjust the scaling of it, you can adjust the brightness of it, as well as the location, which is what we're going to use today. A friend of mine hit me up last week to film something for her. She's doing a whole series of mental health, as she is bipolar, but she's kind of turned it around to be more of an inspirational tool for others. She creates these poems that really speak to the heart, and she asked if I could help her out with one of her latest poems. Towards the end of the video, I felt like there was just something missing, and I was playing around with Knoll Light Factory EZ, and I felt that a little anamorphic flare added just a sweet touch to the end of this very dramatic, very heartfelt scene. So today I'm going to show you in After Effects how to do motion tracking, so that way you can stick your anamorphic flare onto like a lamppost or a practical. In this example, it's going to be a lamp on a wall. And then how to use Knoll Light Factory EZ to choose your anamorphic flare and then adjust it and kind of tweak it around, so that way you end up with something really cinematic and something very cool to add to your scene. Let's hop into After Effects and let's get started. Alrighty, we are in After Effects right now. I have my clip that we'll be working with here. Just a few little things. When you're doing motion tracking or camera tracking in After Effects, whatever clip you're using, just make sure that you have the same resolution set for your composition. If you already know all this stuff, then cool. But for people who don't know, right here I have this composition called Motion Track Tutorial. You can also see it here. And if I go to composition, I go to composition settings, and you see my resolution is set to 4096 by 2160, as that's what I recorded with on the 1DX Mark II. So just a little tip, in case you see something weird happening after you do your track motion or track camera, just know that you need to have the same resolution of your clip as the composition. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with this. If you don't see the tracker tab here, or if you see like a limited version of it, you can always go to Window, Workspace, Motion Tracking. There's two different ways to track, to do like 3D tracking in After Effects. You can track camera, and you can track motion. Track camera is pretty cool if you want to do 3D titling. Say you wanted to have a title in the background here that sticks in that XYZ plane, right? As the scene is moving. Track camera is great for that. I use it a lot for like branded content, commercials for businesses. Today we're going to be using track motion, so that way we can use a anamorphic flare and stick it to a specific spot of this moving scene, right? So let's go ahead and see where that object is. It's going to be this light right here, which if I move further, it's just a lamp on the wall. That's all it is. All right. So let's go ahead and click track motion for this guy. All right. Automatically, it takes you to a different tab up at the top here. Before we were in our composition, and now we're actually in the footage itself, right? So that's where track motion comes from. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. You're going to have three things you're working with, right? You're going to have this outer square, you're going to have the inner square, and you're going to have like that little dot right in the middle. All right. What we're going to do right now is let's go ahead and expand our clip. You can already see that I already have some tracking data. This is from the original clip that I used before I sent it off to my friend. But After Effects for this composition is not using these tracking points. We're going to be using this second one that we just created, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward a little bit. See exactly where the light comes in. It's about right there. Okay. Zoom in a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this entire guy all the way over yonder. All right. Zoom back out. And then let's go ahead and move forward just maybe like one frame. Come back in. So we can see exactly what we're doing with this guy, right? So what I'm telling After Effects is basically this outer box, everything inside of it, I want you to track, right? Like plain and simple. Everything in this smaller box is more like a detailed approach, telling After Effects, hey, everything within this, within these four corners, I want you to specifically track. And in the middle, you have this kind of like anchor point or target point. You can move this around if you're, just tracking one single thing. They just leave this in the middle. There's no need to bring it out. But sometimes you might want to put this like somewhere on top in case there's something really hard to track. But for now, I think we're gonna put it in the center. Alrighty, so this is the first frame we have. We might actually just start it from here to give After Effects a little bit more data. All right. On the right hand side, you see different options here. You have your motion source. This is basically just the clip that you're telling After Effects to use as a source file. You have tracker. If you have multiple tracking points, then you just want to make sure that you're on the right one. Otherwise, if I set this to tracker 1, it'll replace all the data that I have. So you don't want to do that in case you're doing like different comps. Tracker 2, and then track type, different options here. Most of the time you're gonna want to use transform. You have other options too. So you have position, which is what we're tracking here. You can also track the rotation, and you could also track the scale. That's helpful if you're, at least with rotation, if you have like two things you want to track, or if you have a really intricate moving scene. Like if I go back here, let's just disable this guy right now because I don't need that. So in this instance, like right now, the scene isn't moving. I'm just panning, right? I'm not actually moving forward or back. I think I took a step, right? But like if I was actually following her forward the entire time, then I may want to also use rotation and scale. But since for the most part this is pretty static, we're just going to go with position. All right. We have our data. Let's go ahead, or we have our tracking point. Let's go ahead and click on Analyze Forward and let After Effects see if we can track it forward. Did like a half decent job. All right, let's go ahead and stop this guy and go back to our original tracking point just here. All right, so it was here. And as soon as we move though, After Effects decided that I wanted to go somewhere else. So let's bring this back up. Maybe finesse our tracking boxes. Bring this a little wider. Bring it like that. Okay, let's see if that worked a little better. Not really. After Effects is kind of doing some weird stuff right now. So this is one thing that you'll learn about using After Effects. It's a lot of trial and error when it comes to motion tracking, right? Okay, let's go back and see if we can kind of finesse this, right? As they say, 3 times a charm, right? This is the second one. Our first one is here, second one is here, third one. Maybe I have to move this guy up a little bit, and then possibly maybe make this guy just a little bit smaller. Okay. Let's see if that did any better. Nope. Yeah, for some reason After Effects still wants to stick on that point there. So it does a better job there. Let's see if we can kind of go here, let this guy do its thing. Okay. Bring this guy up. Alright, let's track this guy. Okay, so it's tracking that, which is good. Stop it really quick. Instead of letting it go all the way, I sometimes just like to, see where it kind of stopped and then go ahead and just track and stop, track and stop. Otherwise, you're going through the entire thing and having to replace points. So sometimes it's a little bit easier doing it this way. Okay, let's just go there and then track 1 here, there, here, there, and kind of just finesse this. I want to make sure that it stays relatively in the center. Okay, looking pretty good. Okay, let's just go ahead and keep tracking that forward. And we'll see, because that light's going to change from bokeh to like the actual lamp. So that may affect us, which it kind of does. Yep, right there. So probably about right there. I may want to move my tracker over and see if that does a better job. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, can probably move this guy over ever so slightly. Start to track that. Okay, it's sticking on pretty good. And I think we should be good. Yeah, give it maybe a few more seconds just to make sure that that tracking data stays where it needs to stay. But overall, I think we're good. All right, I'll probably just fast forward this until it's done tracking. Alrighty, cool. So our motion tracking is done. Again, let's kind of put this back and see where we need to finesse this. Yeah, like right there, I need to finesse that. Okay. Track it forward, track it forward, track it forward. Good. I kind of lost it there. Let's just go, well, definitely lost it there. Let's go back one. Yeah, okay, it's not bad. And then forward. Probably bring this up and then forward. That's okay for right there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play around with our, well, we'll need to play around with our opacity with the flare brightness to have it go to like pretty much 0 at this point, right? So we can let that tracking data kind of just, go off on its own. Okay. That looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay. Scrub all the way down. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, cool. So we have our tracking data. Now what we're going to do is we are going to create a solid layer that we're going to attach the effect Knoll Light Factory EZ to. And then from there, we're going to apply the tracking data to that solid layer. So right now, let's head back into our composition layer. We're going to right click, new, solid. Make sure it's a dark solid. So just click here and just pick any kind of black area here. You'll be good. We'll call this Knoll Light Factory EZ. Hit OK. We're going to go down to our effects and presets. Let's go to RG Universe Stylize and then Knoll Light Factory EZ and apply that to our solid. Right now you'll see the flare all bright and doing its thing. Click render alpha and then magic happens. Okay, now let's go ahead and choose our flare. The cool thing about this plugin is, as you can see, you have a lot of flares to work with. Let's just go with the one that I used in the actual video, which is smudge lens. Click select. All right. From here, play around with your brightness and your scale. So brightness is just the overall, brightness of the entire flare. And then the scale affects like the center point of the flare, right? And then from here, let's go ahead and go back to our layer for the clip with our tracking data, right? Okay, let's go ahead and make a target. So motion target, if we click edit target, we want this to apply all the motion tracking data. We want to apply to our solid layer, so it's already selected for us. Cool. Click OK. All right, and then click apply. Apply dimensions X and Y. That's fine. Hit OK. All right. So as you can see here, it's doing some weird stuff right now, right? The reason why is because we need to tell that solid layer, and with Knoll Light Factory applied to it, what location layer we want to use, right? So we hit this little guy and we click on the footage. Don't click on the layer itself. I'm gonna click on the footage, right? Bam! Look at that. Go forward, right? It sticks that guy like butter. All right, let's get real here. So as we go back, right, you can see that we do have some issues here. Number one is the layer is not scaling all the way out, so we need to fix that. Number two is, again, we have to play around with the opacity, because right now, you know, realistically, if she was covering that lamp when she is, this flare should not be here in reality, right? Let's go ahead and do this first. We'll click on our layer here, and there we're just gonna drag this guy out. So it is adjusting the scale of it, right? So it's making it like wider. It's almost like you're taking a clip and just increasing the scale of it to like 130% or something like that, right? Alrighty, let's go to the beginning. Let's go ahead and turn down our brightness to 0 just to see where we're looking at. Okay, so right now the flare should probably be coming in around here. Let's kick this to 80. And then let's do this. Move this guy over ever so slightly. And then that continues to track. That's good. Let's bring this to 0 again. Kind of see what we're looking at. Okay, cool. Let's put a keyframe here by hitting the stopwatch. Let's move forward. Forward. I think 80 should be good here, right? Let's just kind of see what that looks like. So we go here, flare comes in. Cool. And what we probably want to do is, let's go ahead and let's work on the flare brightness keyframing first, and then we'll kind of finesse things, right? So here is probably where we want to put another keyframe. So we hit a keyframe there. And then here, probably, let's go like 40. Maybe 80, 50. I think it should probably be like 65, 70. I like 70, okay. Then next frame, 0. Let's see if that looked realistic or not. So here, she's kind of covering it. Right there, actually, it should be at 0. Okay, so then we're here, boom, boom, good. And then it comes here. That light's sneaking back in. We'll put a keyframe here. So light sneaking back in. Let's put a keyframe there. Bring this back up to 80. Let's see, working with here, right? Okay. Put this at 0. And then 80, yep. And then 80 for the rest of it. Cool, that looks pretty good. These keyframes, let's go ahead and easy ease by doing a function F9. At least on Mac, right? That way it kind of smooths in and out our opacity. Boom, okay. Let's play this, see what we get. Looks good. Sorry for the audio, guys. I forgot to turn off the audio on this thing, but okay. Cool. I'll go ahead and render this whole thing so that we don't have to hear this ear-scratching audio. So originally we went from, you don't have to worry about this, even though you can see that like the layer is not, you know, all the way out. It's okay because we really only need it when it comes here, right? It's all we really need it for. But it just adds a little bit of something, right? So if we turn off this layer here, we go from a you know, like a good solid scene, right? And then adding a anamorphic flare to it just adds a little bit something extra, you know? Maybe this brightness is too much. Again, you can always dial this down to something more preferable to you. And then, you know, if you want to color grade your footage, yeah, let's go ahead and just do that, right? Let's just go ahead and use what I normally do, which is magic bullet. There we go. Okay, here we go. I actually do all my color grading in Premiere. But let's work this out, right? Let's just go with 4-way color, and then we'll add some curves to it. Let's go ahead and bring our shadows down to preferable level. I want a little bit of contrast. Midtones, maybe, probably just leave it. Curve. Something like that. Yeah, just a little bit of something, right? And then maybe add a little bit of mojo to this guy. Probably too much. And so something like that, right? Boom. And then we come in here. Okay. Yeah, right. So again, just a little like before. Shot in EOS HD custom log. Then afterwards, just adding a little bit of something to it, right? And then the flare off, flare on. All right. And yeah, that's how to do motion tracking After Effects, adding some anamorphic flares to your footage. Alrighty, well, there you guys go. That is how to create anamorphic flares within After Effects. $100 plugin that you pay annually for over 100 different plugins is pretty cool. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your favorite anamorphic flares to use. Subscribe to my YouTube channel just so you're notified of new content coming out. And remember, friends, every day you have an opportunity to create your experience and to write and tell your own story. My name is David Lee, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video.